Hello, and welcome to this session where I would like to show you how simple it is to use the CAD Studio for testing of the Power BI. There is a new functionality in the Power BI, which is still in preview, so you need to go to the preview options and preview settings and enable DAX user-defined functions, so which I have already. Then you need to restart Power BI, and then you can start to play with the user-defined functions. And I decided to show you how simple it is to use the CAD Studio for testing such a function. So I wrote a simple function here, which basically shows the percentage of the measure which I pass into the function uh, across product category and product subcategory. So it does very simple logic. It takes the measure and divide it by the same value, but we removed the filters for product category and product subcategory. So if I run this query here, which basically use this function, and I put the internet sales total here, I can see the result, right? So we have mostly our internet sales are for bikes, mountain bikes, road bikes, and touring bikes. Okay, so I can then use the function in the measures. So for example, here I have internet sales total margin percentage. So I use function here, I use the measure, and then I can use it in different measure as well. So I basically do not duplicate the code, right? So this is my visual. And now I have my function, but I should as well to test it, right? And this is where CAD Studio can help you, and you can go to the App Store, just search for CAD Studio and install it, right? Then when you have it installed, you open the CAD Studio, and CAD Studio is a tool which helps you to test basically the data projects. And we can simply use it very nicely for testing our Power BI files, not just the functions, not just the user-defined functions, but test in Power BI whatever we want. For example, it can be very simply used for regression testing. So let's do our first test project. We need to add the data source. So it would be Power BI Adventure test data source, just the Power BI AdventureWorks. Let's say it would be Power BI desktop type of the data source. And CAD Studio immediately scans open Power BI desktops and provide me the list. So if I would have two Power BI desktops here, that would be a list of two files which I want to test. So I just choose it and apply the changes. And I have my data source to the AdventureWorks. So it's time to create a new test. So I will create a test. And my test would be comparing of two data sets, right? Because what I want to test is basically this, right? I want to test how it behaves across the product category and how it behaves across the product subcategory. I have prepared the queries here. So this is a product category query. So here, one query, I'm using the measure, and the second query, I'm using basically hard coding for internet sales total, where I remove filter just for product category. So very simple query. So I can copy both queries here into the CAD Studio, and that will be my first test. Let's call it test product category. I can run query from here. So you can see both queries are giving me the same numbers, and I can now run the test. So what happens basically behind that, the engine runs this query, so basically both queries, and then compares the row by row if the values matches, right? So I have my first test. So let's create another one for product subcategory. It will be again set match test. So we are basically comparing result of two queries. I have prepared my queries here. It's just using the product subcategory now. It's using the functions, internet total sales, and comparing query is using as well product subcategory, and it's basically hard coded to remove filter from product subcategory. So let's copy this into the test. Right. Okay, it's here. So this test will now compare those two queries. Test product subcategories. And I can run the test. So I don't need to run the queries here. It's just rather for helping and for visualization if I need some troubleshooting. And we can see all tests are green. I can run it all again. So basically what it does on the background, runs those queries, compare the results, and mark the test green or red if it's okay or not. So now let's break our measure. So I will comment removing a filter or measure. It's a function, right? So let's break our user-defined function. So I will comment removing a filter from product category. I will update my model, and I will go back to the CAD Studio and I will run the tests. And of course, this is expected. I have something wrong with the product subcategories, right? So I can see the bike racks, the value is 1, and the expected value is this. So basically, this shows me the first row where the which is wrong, right? So this is broken. I can fix it, of course, quite simply. Let's update the model and let's run all the tests. So all the tests will be green now. And now let's maybe look into the model. I have my product category, which goes to the subcategory, which goes to the product, and this goes to internet sales. So maybe I can optimize my function that I don't need to remove the filter from product category because it's anyway filters the product subcategory, right? So maybe this is actually redundant. So if I do this and update the model, what do you think? Will both my tests be green, or if it will fail in some combination? Well, to find it, you can download the test file, you can download the test Power BI file, you can download the CAD project I provided in the blog, and you can test by yourself. See you at the next video and next